So as I look out at the landscape of business, this used to be the old marketing model. If you were in consumer goods, or really in any kind of goods, I guess, the old marketing model, the pathway was you advertised to a whole lot of people. You either did direct mail, I mean above the line or below the line advertising. You either took print advertising or television advertising or direct mail or whatever it was. And you advertised to a ton of people with the knowledge and belief and trust that some of them would be the target market and a few of them would want and be interested in your product, and then one or two of them would actually purchase. So it's what we refer to in the States as a buckshot approach. Just fire a ton of buckshot and some of it will hit. This was the old marketing model, and that was the premise on which pretty much most businesses were based. The new marketing model is actually the reverse. The new marketing model is about building a relationship with a few people. And those people tell other people. And ultimately, you have a base of advocates. And that drives the sale. And this is what we used to call word of mouth. And it's also what we now call storytelling. Why do we say it's different than word of mouth? Well, quite simply, word of mouth, which I think we all know is the most powerful form of advertising, because it's an endorsement. Word of mouth relied on me meeting you face to face and telling you, I like this. I go there. I buy that. And so a friend told a friend, and they told a friend, and they told a friend, and so on and so forth. But now, because of the new media platforms, it's not really word of mouth. It's storytelling, because we have platforms to tell stories that don't just reach our friends. They reach our friends' friends. They reach our friends in other countries. They reach our invisible friends that we never met, but they're still our friends. They reach the 4 million tweeters that are on Ashton Kutcher's Twitter page. Whatever it might be. We have the opportunity to tell a story and build our business and create success in a way that, quite honestly, was unimaginable even 5 years ago. Now, this is so important for us as women because we are natural storytellers. And it is so important when we boil it down to women's economic empowerment because we have the opportunity to get the stories out there and to make change. So as we look at new platforms, and you can look, let's take the social media landscape. Whether you're on Facebook or not yourself, I mean, that's completely up to you. I'm not on Facebook as a person. We are on Facebook as a business. As a business, I think it's essential. I don't want friends. I want fans and followers. If you have an individual Facebook page, you have friends. If you have a business Facebook page, you have fans and followers. And that's what we want in business. The social media landscape is enormous and growing. And just when you thought Facebook was big, Zhenzhen, which is the leading social media platform in China, has 350 million users just within China. We're in China. We're just expanding into the southern part of China. And I have to tell you, it is absolutely mind-boggling what's going to happen in that and how it's going to impact all of us. It's exciting. So as we look at the social media landscape, one thing I want to make absolutely focused is this is a global phenomenon. This is not just something that's happening in America or Australia or the UK. It's absolutely happening in South Africa. But also to understand that it's not a teen or a youth thing. The fastest segment of users on Facebook right now are women over the age of 55. Women over the age of 55 are the fastest growing group on Facebook. Why? Because we're telling stories to each other. We're talking. Nothing was more perfectly designed, actually, for women than this kind of platform. So, with that in mind, as we talk about this, and I don't work for any of the social media platforms, but they're a really cool, free way to build your business and tell your story. We call it the F factor. The F factor in business now is friends, fans, followers. Storytellers for your business, your brand, your company, your group, your network, your cause, whatever it is that you are passionate about. Friends, fans, followers. So how do we build an F factor? How do we get people to click like on their Facebook page? How do we get people to say, I'm following that ship. I like this. I like that. I'm talking about that, and I'm going to re-talk about it. So we love to encourage tweeting at all our venues, because then we retweet everything. And whatever somebody tweets, we'll retweet it 1,000 times, and it's around the planet before I've even left the stage. How many of you are on Twitter? Yeah, Dermalogica's on Twitter. I had a Twitter stalker, which was kind of crazy and a different whole kind of issue. So, but Dermalogica's on Twitter. And when we were this morning at SABC, they had whole pages of people that are twittering about the show. So absolutely, people are tweeting. Yesterday, I did a presentation to my tribe, which is skin therapists, and some of them were saying, well, that doesn't happen in South Africa. What? You're wrong. You're just not linked in. They're absolutely tweeting. So the thing with tweeting is basically all about, what do you think? You only have 154 characters, so you can't say an awful lot. What do you think? What do you think? I'm doing this. What do you think? So now, and I don't think you've seen this in South Africa, but we're seeing it now in the States. You go to a clothing store, and it's really, this is what we've done all the time. You've gone shopping with a friend or something, and you put on a pair of earrings. You go, what does this look like? You like these? These look good on me? Yeah. You put on a lipstick. Like this color on me? Does this look good on me? We've all done that. Put on that pair of jeans. My bum look big in these jeans? Or whatever. Don't believe your girlfriend anyway. So, this is just something we've always done. It's nothing new. The plumbing has changed. It's exactly the same. The plumbing has changed. But let me tell you something. Women relate to this so naturally because it's what we've always done. Does my bum look big in this? My husband said, I said to him one time, have you ever asked somebody if your bum looks big in a pair of jeans? Which, let me tell you, his doesn't. But I was just curious. He said, no. You see, because it wouldn't occur. I don't think he looks in the rear view. But anyway, it's just different. It's not better. It's just different. This is so natural for women in business. These platforms are so natural for us to embrace and be part of. So the new thing with Twitter is to take it to the next stage, just like as if you were shopping with a girlfriend. You go to a clothing store and there's a Twitter mirror, which is what you see in the photograph. And the Twitter mirror, actually you go up, you stand there with whatever you're wearing, and you press the button and it takes a photograph of you, which you then send to all your Twitter friends. So I can now ask my sister in the UK, does my bum look big in these? And my sister, trust me, will tell me the truth. So this is just, we haven't even scratched the surface of where this is going to go. But you can now, if you have a smartphone, you can take a photograph of yourself in the earrings and tweet them to your friend and ask how you look in them. So all doable, all good. This is the Dermalogica Facebook page. It's fantastic. We don't edit the conversation. We let the conversation happen. We let people say what they like and don't like. And I think this is really important. When you're on Facebook or any of the social media platforms for your business or your cause, I would encourage you not to edit it. And the reason I say that is we should think of these platforms like a cocktail party or breakfast, where everyone's just kind of chatting. You know how it is. You go into a cocktail party, you look around the room, you see groups of people just chatting, just having a conversation. I don't know what about. Johnny Depp, maybe. So, but they're just talking and chatting, and you go over and you don't barge in. You just kind of go over and you say hi, and you wait for an opportunity to join the conversation. And then you contribute something, and the conversation weaves naturally as people's interests move around the conversation. But you don't rush over, butt into the conversation with a product in your hand going, hello, buy this, at a cocktail party, because people would look at you and go, who the heck is this? Social media platforms are storytelling and conversation happening, and it's important to let that happen. And what we found about Facebook is when people sometimes, because you'll always get a hater or two. Get someone who comes on and says, I don't like your eye makeup remover, it burned my eyes, or whatever it might be. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not, whatever. We don't have to answer that, as rare as it might be, because our fans will answer it for us. And they'll say, you must be crazy. How are you using it? It's the most fantastic thing on the planet. We let that conversation happen naturally as it would. It's a social platform. This is about recommendations and reviews, especially as women. Now remember, 92% of our clients are women. As women, we like to use things that someone else may have tried and recommended. So what did you think of it? You used that shampoo? What did you think of it? Oh, I love that eyeshadow. What is it? Oh, I think that coat's great. Where did you get it? This is something very natural. And so what ratings and reviews do, and if you have them, you should encourage them, and if you've encouraged them and have them, you should post them. What they will do for you is they are the endorsement. That is the storytelling where I love this product, I like it, and that's Daily Microfoliant, which is our #1 selling product. We have an iPhone app. Everything should be focused on mobile. There are 1 billion computers in the world. There are 4 billion mobile phones. Mobile devices are the direction. In Africa, you may not find a computer. Maybe for the women in Richards Bay, they'll have a cell phone. So mobile applications are critical. And just to share with you, for Dermalogica, we do speed mapping on mobile devices, and we do location finders. So on your iPhone, you can download the Dermalogica app. You can click it, and it'll show you anywhere on the planet where the nearest accounts are. And if you have the second app, which is not just the location finder, but it tells you about the location, you can click on that little D that you see, and it'll bring up their menu of services and their website. So the other day, Raymond and I were in Los Angeles, and we wanted Vietnamese food, and we were on Santa Monica Boulevard, and he said, do you know a good Vietnamese restaurant near here? And I said, no, I don't. And he pulled out his iPhone, clicked it down the street using its GPS, looked at it, and it pulled up every Vietnamese restaurant on that street within a 3-mile radius. There were 4. He then clicked on one of them and pulled up the menu. We then went to Open Table, which is another app, and made a booking and went there 15 minutes later. So I only share that little story because nothing is isolated, no country is isolated. Please never make the mistake of thinking it's only happening there, it will never happen here. Everything is global. And so that brings us to the iPad applications, of course, and we have the same applications on the iPad, and we're pulling our skin therapists, kicking, screaming, and in some cases biting, to use the iPad to get online booking, to tweet, to Facebook, to build their businesses free and organically with women who are storytelling. And so if any of this makes sense for your business or your cause or your company, I just encourage you to ask us about it. I'm happy to share any kind of information. So as women, we know that we build our businesses intuitively as multitaskers, owning our authenticity. I want you to use all our authenticity as storytellers and use the new platforms that we have to tell our stories. And if there's one more thing that I think is important in building a successful business as a woman or as a man, it's to seek out our higher purpose. What is the reason that we're here? What can we do? How could we make a difference?